word tonight. Feminism. That's right, I'm a feminist and I'm proud to say it. And I hope by the end of my speech tonight that I'll have let you know a little bit about what feminism means to me, hopefully dispelled a few of the negative stereotypes or connotations that might have bubbled up when I first said the dreaded F word, and maybe even inspire some of you to reconsider where feminism can stand in your life and where you stand with it. Now, that's a rather ambitious agenda because I think it's impossible to accurately complete the sentence, all feminists are blank, or all feminists believe blank. The closest I can get is that all feminists are interested in equality for genders. To have a world where we are free from discrimination, free from stereotypes, free from messages and expectations that lay down boundaries based on gender. And beyond that, if you got a lot of feminists together in a room, you'd probably get a whole lot of different answers on what feminism means to them. And I think that's true for any political or cultural group. You've got a bunch of Democrats or Catholics or communists in a room, and you ask them all what they thought their worldview was about and what the best way was to get there, you get a wide variety of answers. I don't think that diversity is necessarily a problem. And in feminism, there is a lot of diversity. Diversity in beliefs of what an ideal world looks like and the best way to get there. There's also diversity among feminists. Come from all sorts of backgrounds, socioeconomic backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, ages, gender. That's right, even guys can be feminists too. I'll get to that later. Sexual orientation, family life, lifestyle choices, everything. Runs the gamut. And one of the really valuable things for me has been in my reading and in having conversations with my friends and reading feminist blogs is this exposure to a lot of different situations and developing a sensitivity to a lot of different situations, to knowing what your point of view might be and what your point of view might be. And this sensitivity then sort of leads me into one of the first stereotypes about feminists, that we are all angry and humorless. Any of you who know me, you know that I don't walk around with a big dark cloud over my head, angry, looking to be upset at anything that comes my way. But when you start looking at the world through a feminist lens, you realize that there is a decent amount to be angry about, and a decent amount of stuff that's out there as jokes that just isn't funny. Good example. Maybe you watched the Super Bowl, or I should say the Super Bowl ads this year. Well, in addition to the usual ads of using women's bodies to commodify products and sell GoDaddy.com or whatever, there was also an ad where a man basically gave up his wife in order to be able to keep his Bridgestone tires because some dangerous people were threatening him. And what sort of a message is that to tell the world that this person is worth less than 4 tires? That makes me angry that that message is out there for millions of people to see on TV. So what do I do when I'm sitting there? Do I just sit there politely at the Super Bowl party and just let it pass and whatever? Or do I speak up? And do I say that that upset me? And look at my friend who's laughing at it and say, you know what, that's really not that funny. Here's why I think so. Well, I've been trying to speak up more often, even when it's an uncomfortable situation, even when it's not the polite thing to do. And that runs us into the second stereotype, that feminists hate men. I don't hate men. I'm married to a great man, 5 years almost. I have a lot of men who are my friends and my colleagues. I don't hate men at all. And there's nothing within feminism that says, because I want girls and women to succeed, I want men to fail. Really, I want success for everybody. I want everybody to live in a world without these limitations and these gender stereotypes and these bad messages that are sent our way. And that's why I think it's good and important for men to be feminists too, because we both win. In a sexist world, we both lose. But by getting rid of that, we can both win. Another example from the Super Bowl ads, the wide range of ads where men will do any silly thing for Doritos, even faking their own death. I think it's just absurd. But a more serious one was the one with the book club, where it was presented that the only reason these guys would go to a book club was to drink beer and see the attractive women. And the message there is that men wouldn't be intelligent enough or curious enough or eager enough to join a book club on their own. What is that saying to our sons? What is that saying about our boyfriends and husbands and whatever? So that's why I think a rising tide lifts all boats. And if feminism is for everybody, then sometimes people ask, and my husband pushes back on me here, it's like, well, why don't you just consider yourself a humanist? If feminism is for everybody, why not just say you're a humanist? And here I have to quote a blogger who I read frequently, Melissa McEwen, and she writes lovely things about this. And her answer to this is that as long as I'm in a world where people who are my allies in every other way, they're progressive, they believe in social justice, they're environmentalists, whatever it is, yet they still don't see the problem in cracking a sexist joke about Hillary Clinton or about Sarah Palin, then my work as a feminist isn't completed. That's why I use the F word for myself. And if you want more information, I have resources, just talk to me. But I hope that by now I've sort of at least laid out the very basics of what feminism is to me, that I've dispelled some of those negative stereotypes and connotations. And maybe the next time your friend cracks a sexist joke, you'll be able to say, hey, that's not cool, that offends me. And if they pull out the F word and say, what are you, a feminist? Maybe you'll say yes.